Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. Today we're playing Familiars in the Pauper Qualifier on Magic Online. It's essentially an RCQ, so for you paper grinders, maybe you got that out of the way with only 8 people, but we're going to be playing with probably over 100 people today, looking to take down the entire thing and qualify for an RC. Otherwise, we're going to be making a bunch of prizes if we do get there, but I'm playing the deck that I think I know the best, that potentially has the best matchup against the metagame, and that is Familiars. For me, anyway. So we are playing a version of Familiars that I just trophied with and recorded the trophy recap, so that should be out before this video, and you can find the sideboard guide for that on patreon.com/kalikaiz. And if you want to see the videos ahead of time, make sure to hit the join button for the YouTube memberships. So the way this deck works, we've got Familiar, it cost reduces green and blue spells. Eventually, Ghostly Flicker costs just 1 mana. We can flicker Archaeomancer and Island to gain infinite life with Godfaros Faithful. We can also flicker 2 Archaeomancers to get back any spell from our graveyard. And then mostly going to be banking on Ephemerate and Archaeomancer to get stuff back and control the game. We're closing the game out with the Modern Age and Muldrifter. And we have a bunch of free spells in this version of the deck with Foil as a free counterspell, Prismatic Strands as a free protection spell, and Snuff Out as a free removal spell. I think that Prismatic Strands plus Dawnbringer Cleric combined with the Godfaros Faithful gives us a pretty good chance versus Mono Red in game 1. And then if we do face Mono Red, we can either foil, pitching Snuff Out, or just pitch Foil or Snuff Out to the Modern Age to continue moving through our deck and not have to be worried about these main deck cards that might not necessarily be good in the matchup. In the sideboard, we have 4 Dust to Dust, 1 more Prismatic Strands, 1 more Deep Analysis for control matchups, 2 Counterspell, 2 Prohibit, 4 Hydroblast, and 1 extra Snuff Out. So the reason I think that I want to play this Esper version of Familiars is because I think that Snuff Out specifically is really good versus Glee. And I think that Foil is really good versus Glee as well. And then Snuff Out can be used against Terror to shore up that matchup. So now we have good matchups versus Mono Red with our Strands and Hydros. We have good matchup versus Affinity with our Dust to Dust. We have good matchup versus the Glee deck and also the Terror deck. Plus Snuff Out pretty good versus the big Monsters deck. So hopefully that's the way it's going to work. Like I said, sideboard guides you can check out. And then make sure to check out cardmarket.com if you want to pick up these cards from the largest seller of Magic the Gathering cards in Europe. So wish me luck. We will see you in round 1. I'm going to play out all the rounds no matter what. We're going to do our best every single game to try to give you some good action and really showcase Familiars. So I'll see you there. Here we are in round 1 versus Selkas. Argentinian grinder. We're going to be on the play. That's awesome. So the flicker here is kind of medium. Snap is probably good versus most things. I'm going to keep it. We can maybe just go Island, cycle for Island on preordain turn 2. But I might want to keep the Ash Barrens for a swamp. I'm just going to Island preordain, trying to find... Okay, so Ephemerate to the bottom. I think I'm still going to take the Chancery here, because it's just such a good combination with the snaps in the hand. And then I can get a swamp later with this Ash Barrens. Our opponent plays an Island, so we don't know yet if they're on mono blue. They could certainly have a Spell Pierce here. I know that they've been on UB Fae lately. I'm just going to play the Chancery out and pass the turn. Something like a Boomerang would be really bad. They're casting a Consider, so it could be mono blue. That's not great. Puts Thorn of the Black Rose in the graveyard. Okay, so that indicates to me that they're Dimir of some sort. Plays the Modern Age. We have a Modern Age of our own, pitching into Plains. Go play the Island. Just going to go ahead and cycle. Well, yeah, I'll cycle it for a swamp right now. Play out the Modern Age. We'll discard the Plains. Opponent has discarded a Sneaky Snacker, so they most likely will be able to get it back this turn. I'm feeling pretty confident because I like my matchup versus fairies, but it's going to be a bit of a grind. Let's just focus. Double Snacker in the graveyard. So that means Spellstutter Sprite can counter a 3-drop. They cycle Suffocating Fumes, get 2 Snackers back. Now if I draw a Muldrifter, I can double snap. Wow, this is good. We will draw. I'm going to discard the Plains, play out a Swamp. Go for Snap on a Sneaky Snacker. Spell Pierce doesn't get me here. If they want to Spell Pierce just to make me not be able to cast my Muldrifter, that's probably okay. All right. So we can Snap again or just hard cast a Muldrifter. They're probably going to be able to get the Snacker back. I'm just going to get the Muldrifter on the table. We draw into a Lorien Revealed. They cycle Lorien for the Contaminated Aquifer, so Snuff Out is an option for them now. They get in for 2. Yep. We're going to flip the Modern Age into a 2/3, so blocks are going to be good for me later. Plays the Aquifer. We draw Deep Analysis. I can just go Floodplain Deep Analysis, discard the Ash Barrens. Play the Floodplain. Let's draw 2 cards. Oh, I don't have to discard if this resolves. Okay. Our opponent could counter this and then play a Bojuka Bog. We find a Snuff Out. Okay. So I can Snuff Out a Spellsetter Sprite. I do have to keep this swamp in play for Snuff Out to be live, though. I try just blocking here. They're going for Murmuring Mystic. Play Snuff Out on the Vector Glider. Okay. That stinks. Wonder how many Snuff Outs they have in hand. Getting in for 4. I don't want to Snuff Out right away here. They have double Snuff Out. That really sucks, but that's fine, I guess. What am I going to do? I need a Faithful now. Found the Faithful. We'll go God Pharaoh's Faithful. Play a land. Tap this. We can kill your Murmuring Mystic. Play Chancery. Here I think I'm actually going to pick up the island just to be safe in case I draw another Snuff Out. You can Snap the Bird. Untap. Cast a Preordain. Go to 13 life. Another Snuff Out and a foil. So I think I like both of these. Maybe the Snuff Out isn't that good. I'm going to bottom the Snuff. Because what am I really snuffing out? This Vector Glider? We'll bottom that. I think I want to keep the foil for a Monarch. We're going to go ahead and hard cast a Lorien Reveal to draw 3 cards. Okay, so we can discard. We have Island and foil. We just have to figure out what to discard. Our opponent has attacked and put us to 9. Cycles Lorien Revealed. They go Sneaky Snacker. Okay, it's not great. Find a Dawnbringer Cleric. We can kill the Vector Glider with that. I'm going to start with a Familiar. Okay, that resolves. So let's draw 2 cards. Going to 7 life. Another foil. Can't play my island. I can cast the Modern Age. See what I draw. Drawing a Faithful. Okay. I'm going to get rid of the Chancery. Lay out the Landscape. We'll tap it for the Dawnbringer Cleric. Plan is to destroy the Vector Glider. They have a counter spell. Guess I will respond with foil, pitching the Ash Barrens. Maybe I should have played my Faithful first. That would have gained me a little bit more life. Destroy this. Play a Faithful. Now they know I can't foil from hand. The next turn I have foil hardcast. Our opponent can attack for 5. We can gain 2 life out of, like, just for funsies. Draw an Ephemerate and a Mortuary Mire. So I guess I'm gonna discard. I'm gonna discard the Ephemerate. Play the Mortuary Mire. Returning the Muldrifter. Okay. I messed up there. I should have sacrificed this for an island first. Just an attack for 1 here. They have 5 power in the air. They're gonna cast down my creature. I will Ghostly Flicker here and here, gaining 2 life, and then gaining life with the Godforest Faithfuls. They're gonna cast a Spellsetter Sprite, and we have Counterspell on your Spellsetter Sprite, gaining even more life. But that is a problem because it gets rid of our ability to protect resolving our Muldrifter. Gain 2 life. So we're currently at 10. They get in for 5. Plays another Snacker. And a Landscape, 1 card in hand. We're gonna have to hope that they don't have the Monarch here. I'll sacrifice this for an island to get stuff out of my deck. And then go Muldrifter. Go to 7. Please no counterspell. 1 time. They have the counterspell, so we're both gonna be top decking here. I'm at 0 cards in hand. Maybe, oh, they cycle Suffocating Fumes, they get a redraw. Maybe I shouldn't have countered the Spellsetter Sprite, but they were going to counter my creature. Get rid of this. Take 5. If they can bring their snacker back, or at 2. Plays another snacker. Wow. If I draw a card draw spell, we're in it. I drew Vector Glider. So I can snap the Vector Glider, replay the Vector Glider. That's +4. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only puts me to 6. Okay, I think what I have to do is block and snap a Sneaky Snacker, or snap this. No, I have to snap the snacker. I could snap and replay the Dawnbringer Cleric as well. That'd be +4 life. So maybe that was an option. They're going to combat. Sending in the team. I'll block. Snap your snacker. That puts me to 4 life. Do you have a response? No. Okay, we go to 1. They play a Modern Age, discarding the snacker. So if they find one more card draw, they get 2 snackers back here. That was a good rip for them. Best draw for me is probably a Lorien Revealed. Okay, we didn't get there. Just attack with my Dawnbringer Cleric and then pass the turn. Opponent loots, discarding an Aquifer. They're attacking, and we take 1 damage, going to 0. Snuff Out's not super good here. I mean, did kill the Murmuring Mystic, but it's not really where I want to be. I want to bring in the Clerics, get rid of this and this, bring in the Deep Analysis. So we have a bunch of counter spells, not the Dust to Dust, the Deep Analysis. Don't think I want, I guess we can keep, maybe Foil's just not that good. And then we keep a couple of Snuff Outs. We can Snuff Out on their creatures a little bit. Maybe I just want like 2 Snuffs and a Foil. I'll submit. We are on the play again. I mean, I'm keeping. This hand has Faithful, Familiar, Familiar. I like that. Land, Godfair's Faithful. Faithful is a really good way to stall for time against fairies. Go land. They have Island. Just going to use my mana to play the Sunscape Familiar here. Pass the turn. They cycle and get a regular island. Plays the island out. I'll just play another Familiar, see if they want to counterspell. They decide to counterspell. I'll pick up the planes, pass the turn. If they tap out, I can slam the Lorien Revealed. If they don't, okay, they Modern Age, and so I'm going to Lorien Revealed here. Draw 3 cards. They still don't have... Well, they are playing an island. I'm a little bit afraid of Spell Pierce. I'm going to play the Modern Age. I do have a good pitch with the planes. I could have Mortuary Mired the Familiar back. Maybe that would have been a good spot to do that. So I think I messed up there. Okay, so let's cycle, grabbing my other planes, and then I'll put the Familiar on top with the Mortuary Mire. So this next turn, we're going to draw the Familiar and then loot, discarding the planes. Our opponent is looting. They discard Nihil Spellbomb, plays Nihil Spellbomb, land. Okay, they did not have a Snuff Out there. We draw, discard an island, or planes. Go ahead and play the Familiar. They're considering Counterspell. Fortunately, I can't use my Lorien Revealed. I'm going to pass. I don't want to get the Lorien countered. They cycle Lorien Revealed, grabbing a regular island. Now they have a Vector Glider. 4 mana in play. Plays their 5th land. They're slamming a Murmuring Mystic here. So they might have Snuff, and then I'm pretty hosed. If they have only 1 Snuff, we can play Lorien Revealed into Spell Pierce. We have a Prohibit. That's very good. And kick that. I'm going to just slam the Lorien Revealed. So we get to draw 3 cards, which is huge. And we have Ephemerate and Prohibit. So I guess we're just hanging back. We can kick a Prohibit on a Monarch. We have a Consider. I'm not going to counter a Consider. The birds can definitely take over the game, but I need to focus on survival, I think. Need to draw into a Muldrifter that I can resolve. Snuff Out on the Vector Glider. I'll kick a Prohibit. They have a Spell Pierce. That's pretty much expected, I guess. That's sort of what I was afraid of the whole time, was them having a Spell Pierce. Ugh. They don't have a... I'll just try counterspelling it. Because they can't Spellsetter Sprite my Prohibit. And they use a second Spell Pierce. Jeez. Well drawn. I will not pay for your 75 spell pierces. Double spell pierce, snuff out, Nile spell bomb. Dang. Another modern age. Come on, Mole Drifter. They discard and get back a sneaky snacker. Amazing. Or what do they discard? They discard an island, getting back a sneaky snacker. So now we're facing down 2, 4, 8. Power in the air. So 17 cards. We've seen 1 Lorien Revealed, 1 Modern Age. We have Counterspell, Ephemerate, Glacial Floodplain. Should I play the Floodplain out? They forgot to attack. That's lucky. I'm just going to play the Floodplain and pass the turn. We have 24 life right now. I need a draw spell. Any draw spell. They swing 8. We'll go to 16. Thorn of the Black Rose gets counterspelled. That would have buried me completely. Come on, Mole Drifter. Okay, we can cycle this landscape, which feels nice. We have a snuff out. I can't cast it right now. Now they have even more power in the air. Plays a deep analysis. I'm so dead. Come on. It's in for 1 million. We get a 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Try to kill your Vector Glider. We get a 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Got completely destroyed. All right, GG. We're here in round 2 versus Mist Trigger. They have a Pioneer Prestige, I believe. They're probably on like Burn or Glee. We do have good lands, Double Drifter, Snap, and we're on the play, so I'm going to keep it. We'll see how it goes. Lead on that Floodplain, pass the turn. What is our opponent doing? Burn, okay. There's a Voldaren Epicure, turn 1. We find a Prismatic Strand, okay. Pass the turn. That's pretty solid. So now I need a white card, like Dawnbringer. So I have 9 white creatures in the deck. Dawnbringer, Faithfuls, and Familiars. They reveal a Chain Lightning to a Synthesizer. They whiff on a land. We're going to go to 18 here. It's going to cycle for another island. And I'll take my beats going to 18. No problem. So I guess, oh, they play another land. Chain Lightning, go to 15. What do we find? Familiar. Okay, I think I play the land, pass the turn. Play the Strands this turn. And then I can play the Familiar and have a 0 mana Strands while developing my mana, work on hard casting a Mole Drifter. Our opponent cracks the Synthesizer to a Kuldotha Rebirth, finding a mountain. We can pretty much expect a Bushwhacker here. They play Reckless Lackey. And a Reckless Lackey. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and play the Strands. Doesn't matter if they attack or not first, I don't care. Strands on red. This saves them a click. I'm a good guy. If I find Ephemerate, I can go snap your Kuldotha, Drifter Ephemerate. They're going to attack anyway. They wanted to click. Go land, play the Familiar. I'll pass the turn. I don't need to snap the Goblin token this turn just right away. Would rather save it for a Ritual. Plays a Reckless Lackey and a Bushwhacker, so they just aren't paying much attention, I guess. All Strands on red. No problem. They completely wasted that. I don't know what the deal was. Gets in for 0. I'll take it. Let's start with Preordain, looking for a Faithful. I find a Foil and a Chancery, so I can top both of these. Play the Chancery out. Pick up the island. Snap on a Kuldotha token. Untap. I have 4 mana to hardcast a Mole Drifter. And I find a Faithful. That's pretty good. So now I have a 0 mana counterspell if they want to take out the Familiar or the... I don't know. It's probably just the Familiar, I want to save. I'm not going to be hardcasting the foil for a while. They play a Synthesizer. Okay. Finding a Great Furnace. So they have 3 mana, 2 cards in hand, and a blood token. So it's important that we take... if I can block here, then they sacrifice it. So I'll just block here, here, and here. This is 4 damage. Maybe if I blocked and then they sacrificed it, then it would be better because I could foil whatever they cast off the treasure. They cast Tectonic Hazard to kill my Mole Drifter. Okay. So they're main decking Red Hate. They have 1 card left in hand, and I have a foil. It looks like they're trying to do something, but I don't know what yet. Chain Lightning. we're going to counter. No thanks. We'll go back to up to 11. I'm going to hard cast a Muldrifter and then see where we go from there. All right, my turn. I find an island. Let's play the Muldrifter out. Go to 12, draw 2 cards. Dawnbringer Cleric's awesome. We'll play the Dawnbringer Cleric and gain 2 life. Another good blocker. Pass the turn. Unfortunately, we ran out of action. So if they tap lower than 3 mana, I want to block the lackeys to kill it to get it off the table so they can't be drawing more cards with them. All right, so here they're using the synthesizer, it looks like. What do they find? A mountain. They'll have 2 mana and 1 card in hand. What are they doing with that card? Reckless Lackey seems pretty outdated right now. I wonder if the opponent did not bring in their... Maybe they just wanted more 1/2s for opposing 1/1s in the mirror. Looks like they are going to try to burn one of my creatures. They kill my Faithful. That is brutal. So I'll kill a Lackey. Block. Kill this Epicure. Take 3. Go to 11. We find a Contaminated Landscape. It's going to play it. Play the Familiar. And pass the turn. Could have saved the Landscape in hand for drawing a Modern Age, but I think that just setting my deck a little might help. We're out of swamps to fetch. Not like I was going to cast a Snuff Out for 0 mana anyway. Looks like they're going to draw a card off the Reckless Lackey. Okay, they create a treasure token, draw a card. So it's 2 mana to draw a card there. They're going to discard a mountain and draw a card. 2 cards in hand still. Only 4 creatures now, and I have 4 blockers. So they're trying to get cards in hand, but it has reduced their threats. I will for sure block the Lackey. They don't attack. We fetch for an island. Finding a Modern Age, like I said. Let's see what we discard. Whatever top of our deck is going to go straight to the graveyard. It's a Modern Age. All right, your turn. No attacks. I will hold back. Getting to the point where you've stalled out against burn is pretty good. Looks like they have a burn spell to kill the Dawnbringer Cleric. All right, well, we're going to be taking at least 1 damage this turn. Okay. They're floating a red mana. Galvanic on the Muldrifter. So we're going to go to 9 here, blocking a 1/1 and a 2/2. They can once again sacrifice to try to draw a card. We're at 9. They draw a card. They only have 3 attackers again. Plays an Epicure. We go to 8. Come on. We have 2 looks. Archaeomancer and Mortuary Mire. Well, I don't like that very much at all. I think I go Mancer or Preordain. But winning without the Mortuary Mire is going to be not great. But I do need the Archaeomancer. So gotta do what you gotta do. Take the Preordain. Preordain. I accidentally floated too much mana. You find God Pharaoh's Faithful and Lorien Revealed. I'll top both of these. Putting the Faithful second. I can Lorien Revealed first. Draw 3 cards. Play the Faithful. Pick up an island. Okay. That was a good recovery. We have no Mortuary Mire, so we have to win with the cards that are in our library, and if we deck, we deck. They discard a mountain, drawing a card. They currently have 6 mana available and 2 cards in hand, so what have they got? I mean, double Galvanic kills us. They've used 1 already. 2. They've used 2 already. 1 Bushwhacker gone. Declines to attack. Now we have a 2/2, or a 2/3 flyer. Okay, and I have a counterspell. Play the God Pharaoh's Faithful. So we have to start the slow beats. Opponent's turn. Plays an Epicure. Not worth a counter for me. We go to 7. So dead to double burn spell if one of them is Galvanic. They chain lightning. I'll say okay. And it looks like they have the Galvanic, huh? No attacks. All right, my turn. Currently at 4. Finding a plains. I'll play island. Guess I'm just passing. My deck hasn't really come together, but things are going okay. Our opponent has 2 cards in hand. They're passing. I'm nervous about getting burnt out now. They do have a blood token. They go lightning bolt. I'll say okay. Lightning bolt again. I'll counter. Going to 3 life. So if I find a blue spell, I can go to 5 life. Preordain, awesome. We're at 5 life. No longer worried about dying necessarily. Find a Snuff Out and a Preordain. I'm going to just get rid of Snuff Out, top the Preordain, and Preordain. looking for Mole Drifter. We do have to win the game before we deck. I'll bottom off the Lorien Revealed, cast the Lorien Revealed, draw 3 cards. I guess we could find let's go Familiar, play Island, attack for 2. You're currently at 18. So we have 3 Modern Ages, 2 Mole Drifters left. And if we find a second Archaeomancer before they get going, then we can try to find the Archaeomancer combo to lock them out of the game. Opponent goes Bushwhacker. All right, that's fine. We're going to block, 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 and block. Taking 2 damage because I did not leave back the Vector Glider, and I don't want to sacrifice the Archaeomancer. I don't have Mortuary Mire left in my deck. I did have to discard it. That doesn't come up that often with the Vector Glider, but it does come up. I'll grab an Island. Only 1 more basic left in the deck. Play the Chancery. And then pick up Island. I guess I'm holding back. I'm just going to F6. I think they know I have only lands in hand. I shouldn't. Let's see what they're going to do. We're at 7. Opponent already down to 1640 on clock. They have no attacks. Find a Deep Analysis. You can actually cast it for just 1 mana. I need to find creatures though. There's a Mole Drifter. I'll cast the Mole Drifter. We have 0 ways to cast Snuff Out now because we lost our... Oh no, we do have 1 Island Swamp. All right, I'm gonna Deep Analysis again. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. Saving the Snap at the moment. Okay, Modern Age is good. Another attacker in the air. I'm looking for Ephemerate so I can get some counters going. I guess I could snap my Archaeomancer to draw the foil. I'm going to draw 2 cards. You draw a foil, so play the Faithful. And then snap the Archaeomancer. Untap these 2. We'll play land. We have no way of hardcasting both foils. Just go Archaeomancer. And then get back the snap and snap the Archaeomancer again. And then hardcast it and get back a foil. So this way we have 2 counter spells in hand. We can discard the Snuff Out if we need to. And I'm going to go ahead and attack for 2. So currently we have 4 power in the air. Next turn, in 2 turns, we'll have 6 power in the air. We just have to protect our air flyers. If I find a Flicker, it'd be a lot easier. I think our opponent probably is recognizing that I'm going to deck, so they're discarding Clockwork Percussionist. They're on 4, looks like 4 Lackeys and 4 Percussionists maybe. It's kind of wild. Chain Lightning my flyer. I'll counterspell. Going to 29 life. In 12 cards remaining, we have a Flicker and 2 Ephemerates to continue to get back stuff. There's the Flicker and a Snuff Out. I'll discard Snuff Out and go ahead and attack. I'm going to risk, let's see there, I need 3 turns more. I'm going to risk a Deep Analysis here. I'll have 8 cards left in library. On a Snap and another Familiar. So let's play the Familiar out. Snap this Archaeomancer. And then I can play the Archaeomancer again for the 2 mana left over, grabbing the foil again. And then I have foil, foil, Flicker, get back foil if I need to. Oh, there's the other foil's in the graveyard right now, so let's just play the Island and pass the turn. I think we got this. Easy. Losing the Mortuary Mire is definitely sketchy, though. Finding a Mole Drifter. So we have them... I guess we should play the Mole Drifter. We attack them, they'll go to 8. Then I play the Mole Drifter, and I have 8 power in the air. And 5 cards left in library. There's a Mole Drifter. You can tell that we draw enough cards that foil isn't that big of a deal. Let's do a Preordain, looking for Ephemerate or Archaeomancer. There's the Ephemerate and the Ice Tunnel. So I'll bottom and top the Ephemerate. Play the Chancery. Pick up Island. And then I'm just going to discard the Snuff Out here. I didn't cast the Ephemerate for the foil. I'm not sure if that's going to matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just respond to their stuff. They play a Tomb Raider. Don't care. Awesome. Maybe they attack. Okay, I don't care about that either. I'm just going to not block. Just okay right through it. My turn. Play Island. 3 cards in library. Bam, 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 bam. 8 damage. I mean, all you got to do is survive and then kill them. All right, we're 1-0. That is my first game win of the series. That's okay. I believe. Let's get rid of the prismatic strands. I mean, bring in the prismatic strands. I'm definitely wanting to bring in the deep analysis. I want to cut the snuff outs, and I want to bring in the hydroblasts. Okay, so now I don't think ephemerate. Maybe cut a deep analysis, and then go to just 2 foils. So foil here is my, oh no, they have a bushwhacker out of nowhere. And then hydroblast is my main interaction with the prismatic strands. I usually go down to 2 deep analysis and 1 ephemerate. I think that makes sense. Not having extra snaps though, like 4 snaps I think is pretty good in the matchup. And we're only playing 3 because of the snuff outs in the main deck. Well, we have a hand. I'm gonna keep it. We have only interaction. So let's see how that goes. Our opponent leads on Great Furnace. Do you have a Tomb Raider? They have a Clockwork. Okay. And we have turn 1 Hydroblast. So let's see what we want to Hydroblast. Experimental Synthesizer, I will counter. That's too much value. They're getting in for 1. We'll go to 18. So they did not have a second land? I guess maybe they'll play it second main. They're disciplined. They played a second main. They Kuldotha on the Percussionist. Finding a mountain, they can play next turn. I guess a Modern Age would be okay. I'll play my Landscape and pass the turn. I'm going to have to sacrifice it for an island, I believe. They play a Tomb Raider. This is 5 damage. They have the Bushwhacker. Dang. Bad news. Grab an island. We're taking 10, 11 damage here. Going to 9. So I need to draw some white cards. Land, pass the turn. Play Voldaren Epicure. I'm going to respond with Strands so that this Epicure doesn't deal me any damage. Strands on red. Our opponent's going to attack anyway. I'm going to Preordain, looking for a white card. Find Floodplain and Snap. I think bottoming both of these is correct. Find the Faithful. So now I can go play the Faithful out. They don't have Galvanic. Play out a land and pass the turn. Play a Percussionist. I don't know what's up with this opponent. They're kicking a Bushwhacker here. They know I have the Strands in the graveyard. All right. Maybe they just wanted me to use it. I could see that. It's in for a lot that gets all countered, basically. So we have, just go land, pass the turn. We're going to Strands again, fogging, but they have a lot of creatures on the table, which is pretty scary. Plays another Bushwhacker, Strands, on red. I'll just block, I guess. We're at 7. They have so many creatures on the table. I'll play out my Muldrifter, going to 8 life. Draw. Drawing a Chancery. I think it makes sense to play the Chancery and pick up the island. I want to develop my blue mana. I hope they attack this time, because then I can kill the Tomb Raider. Plays Relic of Progenitus. Okay. I guess that gives them enough to Galvanic the Faithful, so that's a problem. Maybe I'll just block and block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Block. And block here. Block here. Then I'll cast the Strands. I really would be sad if they were able to kill my thing, but they don't. I should have just not let them have it. They had Galvanic online before with the Percussionist. What was I thinking? I have 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Start with a Preordain. Now I am looking for a Snap, I think. Faithful would be good. Bottom, top. Preordain again. We're at 10 life. We find a Familiar and a Modern Age. So I think I take both of these. Play the Modern Age and then play the Familiar. So if I do that, then I'm just going to top both of these. Play the land. Play out the Muldrifter. Because I would have had 3 blockers after playing the Familiar anyway. Okay, your turn. If I'd gone Modern Age into Familiar, I would have had the Faithful this turn. We'll get rid of a Landscape to the Relic. We have 3 blockers. So block, block, block. That's 5 damage, putting us to 6. Our opponent's going to discard a card. Discarding a mountain. They're back to 2 cards in hand. Going straight to combat. Block the biggest guy with the Faithful. and block your Bushwhackers with my Mole Drifters, because I can snap these tokens off the table. We're at 6 life. They have 2 cards in hand, so double burn spell wins the game. They have Epicure, putting me to 5. That is not enough to win here, unless they have Goblin Grenade, but they didn't. Okay, so start with Faithful, and we'll go Familiar, cast Modern Age for 1. I think it makes sense to discard the Ash Barrens and then hardcast the Lorien Revealed. Kind of flicker. Discard the Ash Barrens, play a land. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. They'll put me to 5 this coming turn. All right, I'm gonna just draw. Well, not sure. So let's say I Lorien Revealed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the worst that could happen? Bushwhacker, they have 1 Bushwhacker left. So I would take block 5 creatures with 6 damage. Bushwhacker plus Lightning Bolt kills me. I'm just gonna Lorien Revealed. I don't really want a deep analysis. It draws me 4 cards, but I'm basically tapped out anyway, and I don't want to lose it to the Relic necessarily. So this is gonna put me to 9 and we'll pass. I can actually block the Tomb Raider with my Familiar. And this turn, because I drew the Mortuary Mire, I could maybe just block the Tomb Raider with my Mole Drifter. Wow, they exile card with the exile with the Relic here, so that puts them to 3 cards in hand. So they're much more likely to have double burn spell now. Plays a Synthesizer, not a burn spell, but does draw them a card. And we don't get to see, okay, they found a Tomb Raider. Plays Tomb Raider out. We have 5 blockers. We have 2 cards in hand. We will block and block this one and this one and this one. So that's 1, 2, 3 damage. We'll go back to 6. So they need Bolt Fire Blast to kill me here. Plays Voldaren and Epicure back to 5 again. So not dead again. We find Hydroblast. So we don't really need the Chancery right now. We'll discard that. Play Faithful. Then I'm gonna... I might have another Relic, but I think that's okay. We'll just attack for 4. Then draw 4 cards here with the Mole Drifters. Pretty strong. 2 mana, draw 4. Okay, we draw Archaeomancer and another Familiar. So this is infinite life. Play the Familiar, play the Archaeomancer, gets back to Flicker. So we're not dead. We have Hydroblast. I'll just play out the Ice Tunnel, then Flicker a bit, going up to like 25 life. Okay, the last time I'm going to Flicker, we'll go to 26 life. I still have Hydroblast in hand. Multiple attackers. This game is over. GG's. All right. Our opponent gave us a GG's. GG's opponent. Good luck in the rest. We are beginning our road to recovery. We gotta just get those 7-0. All right, they play Tomb Raider. They said GG's, but they didn't scoop. It's fine. I can take it. All right. Play the Familiar. We'll just attack. 6 cards in hand. Bam, you go to 14 or 12. Let's draw 2 off the Mole Drifter. Go to 29 life. We draw another Mole Drifter and a Familiar. I'm going to play the Familiar out. That's 4 Fams in play, meaning I can cast a Mole Drifter for 1 mana. And then I'm going to Flicker this here. Get back to Flicker. Play out the Dawnbringer Cleric. And then pick up the Plains with the Chancery. Your turn. The GGs don't scoop. Okay, I guess they're done now. Fine. We'll see you in round 3. All right, here we are. Round 3 on the draw. We have double foil and Archaeomancer and 1 land and a Preordain, so we have to mulligan this. Our opponent was close to timing out, but they didn't. So this is fine. I'll keep and put back the Archaeomancer. We have a turn 2 Cleric potentially to do some blocking. Our opponent has played a bunch of random... they're like a multi-format grinder, so we'll see what they're up to. They're probably double queuing. They're playing Burn, okay. So I think we just fetch a Plains. All right, play this. I'll grab a Plains. So the question is, do I want a Faithful or play the Cleric? If I play the Faithful plus Chancery, I have more options after that. So it seems like the better play. They're getting in for 1. And they Kuldotha Rebirth the Clockwork. So now I feel like I want to play the Dawnbringer Cleric. They Galvanic Blast us. Well, now I found the Snap, so I'll play Faithful, play Chancery, pick this up, pass the turn. So the question is, if I block here, they can kill my Faithful with a Lightning Bolt. That does gain me 4 life. And then how much life am I going to be gaining if I don't block? If I don't block, I lose out on 1 damage, plus the additional 3 damage. I think it's better to not block. We can get rid of a Kuldotha token with a Snap, then play the Dawnbringer Cleric, and cycle for an island. They're going to double bolt my... They have to double Galvanic my thing. Wow. Okay. Play the Ice Tunnel since it's a tap land. Snap a token. They're considering bolting their own token, which would probably be fine. That's like a pretty good trade, I guess. Like a really good trade. Or maybe they're just off doing something else because they've been double queued. Okay, untap. I will cycle, grabbing an island. We're sort of hoping for an Ephemerate. I would also take like a Deep Analysis. We have the Deep Analysis in hand. Like I'm looking for Ephemerate. I'm looking for the Modern Age. Any of my early drops, basically. Next turn, the only thing we can really do is slam the Deep Analysis. They're down to only 2 creatures in play, and they've used a ton of cards. Dawnbringer Cleric resolves, we gain 2 life, and we can pass the turn. So we're either going to be blocking a Goblin token or getting our creature bolted. And in that case, it gained us 5 life. Okay, so we gained 5 life off of that. We draw a foil. I think I'm just going to slam the Deep Analysis, draw 2. So now we can still foil a card. We can hold on to Muldrifter, and I think I allow this. I'll save foil for maybe the Bushwhacker. This puts us to 10. We can also use foil to protect the Muldrifter. Opponent now plays a Kuldotha Rebirth. I'm going to just foil that. Pitching the Ash Barrens. I can't have that happen. That's too many creatures on the board. Okay, they put us to 10. I find an Ephemerate. So I can just go Muldrifter plus Ephemerate. Then what am I drawing into? I think I'm going to do it. We could find a Chancery or something and pick up the land. Let's draw. Ephemerate here. We find a Snuff Out. I don't know that that's that useful. Probably want to just Mortuary Mire and get back to Faithful. I'll pass the turn. So if we fade a burn spell, we are going to be in a commanding position. Otherwise, we have to go Faithful plus Deep Analysis, which is going to cost us 2 life, and then pick up the Mortuary Mire with the Chancery. Or we could play Faithful and hardcast the Snuff Out. They play the Percussionist. Okay. No attacks. Alright. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. Okay, we have a lot going on. Double Faithful. Alright, so Faithful, Faithful, and cast the Snuff Out, killing an Epicure. We're at 12 life. There we go. Fully recovered, I think. Clockwork Percussionist is a straight up dud because it just attacks right into the Faithful, walling it off. Kind of makes you think that Faithful is the low-key best card in FAMs. Maybe. It's really Drifter Ephemerate, but Faithful is pretty good. They play a Synthesizer off the top, finding a Bushwhacker. And Scoops, alright. We can bring in the same stuff. Prismatic Strands, Hydroblast, cutting Ephemerate, all the Snuff Outs. And then we need to cut a foil. Then you could bring in Prohibit over a second foil. I don't hate that. It's a little bit risky, but we'll just do it this way. Okay, game 2. Our opponent is on the play. They've chosen to play first. We have tap land into familiar. They're keeping 7. I don't think it really gets better than that, so I'm going to keep. If we draw any like 1 mana play, we can play it this turn. Otherwise, we're just continuing with the plan. Floodplain, familiar. Trying to find a Hydroblast, set, stuff like that. Plays Great Furnace, plays Goblin Blast Runner. Okay. We found a Hydroblast. Let's just kill that thing. Well, we could save it. They might have a Kuldotha rebirth. I don't know if I want to counter the Kuldotha or kill the Blast Runner. Synthesizer. Okay, I'll counter that. Plays a land. They crack their land so they can get in for 3. So that was pretty good, I think. I would rather have them crack their land there. I'll play Familiar. Just planning on blocking. It's a little bit nerve-wracking here because I'm afraid of a raise, but they're only having 1 land in play. Okay, 2 lands for the opponent. They're going to Bushwhacker. Pretty bad. Taking 8, going to 9. So do I play the Modern Age out? Okay, found a Faithful, so that's an easy decision. Faithful, Chancery, pick up this Plains, Modern Age. We discard, I think it's going to be the Floodplain here. We have 2 blockers. Next turn I can go Familiar plus Modern Age plus Deep Analysis Flashback. If I want to. They play a Mountain. They attack for a bunch. We'll block and block. Take 3, go to 7. They have nothing else. Okay. Wow, we have another Familiar and a Flicker. I'm going to discard the Deep Analysis, play land, play a Familiar. Then I'm going to cast the Modern Age. 3 blockers. I mean, I would have 4 blockers if I played out the Familiar, but then I wouldn't be able to use this Flicker. Opponent has a Pyroblast. Okay. Still have 1, 2, 3. We're going to be taking 2 damage. They just scoop. Awesome. We win the match. That was a weird one. I'm excited that we are 2-1. We're here in round 4 versus Von Schwarz on the play. And we have a really solid hand. Wow. I'm going to keep. So we can pretty much do anything we want. We just go Island, Modern Age, pitch Chancery, then play Chancery, or we just go Island, Chancery, and then Familiar, Modern Age. Lots of options here. Gonna get some Modern Ages out quickly. We'll be on the board turn 3, our opponent's turn 2. Seems pretty good. Okay, let's go Island and pass the turn. Our opponent said that they're a big fan of the channel. Thank you very much. Hopefully this is a great match. Contaminated Aquifer. Our opponent was previously seen on Dimir Terror. They are on Dimir Terror. Spell Pierce is a problem. They said, I'm the best Pauper player in the world. That is high praise. Thank you. I'm going to play the Chancery and pick up the Island. I could have gone Island, discard Chancery, but then I have another discard that I don't really want to make. I think I'm better off just going a Faithful into Modern Age and trying to get some life gain value going, especially if they're on a Dimir Terror build. They could also be on Dimir Fae, though. If they're on Dimir Fae, then we want to go Familiar into Modern Age, because Faithful could get countered by a Spell Sorcerer Sprite. Island for the opponent. We still don't know what they're doing. Okay, my turn. I'll play Island. So if they're on Fairies, Spell Sorcerer Sprite would stink, but then the Modern Age would resolve. All right, we're going to try Faithful. Maybe I shouldn't have tapped all my mana. This kind of shows them that I have the Modern Age coming up. Let's see if they have a Spell Pierce. They're brainstorming looking for a Spell Pierce, it looks like. Or they're brainstorming trying to find, set up their hand and then Thought Scour. So this is a matchup. If it is Terror, then Mental Note, discarding or putting in a Deep Analysis and Suffocating Fumes. I think I want to put the Island in the graveyard. And then next turn, we're going to go discard the Deep Analysis into Familiar Deep Analysis. I'm putting Thought Scours. Oh, geez. Is it a Terror? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 already. They're playing an Angler. Okay. So, best case scenario for me, I draw. They don't have a land drop, and I draw a Snap. There's an Island. We draw an Ephemerate. Okay. I mean, I can try for Drifter Ephemerate. It seems a little bit risky. I'm going to discard this Island and play the Chancery, picking up the Island. They got rid of so much in their graveyard. I'm going to go Familiar and then Modern Age again. Probably discarding, well, I think at this point, I'm going to discard the Modern Age. There's a chance that I want to just hardcast a Deep Analysis to try to fight through counters. Our opponent flashes back the Deep Analysis looking for snuff outs and stuff. or maybe more lands. They snuff out the familiar and Thought Scour themselves, milling, cast down, and spell pierce. So they might not have another snuff out, but I don't want to risk it. I'm just going to slam the Muldrifter. We find a foil. Okay, that's a thing. So now I can discard the deep analysis and go Muldrifter into Ephemerate, and then I have the foil backup. We're going to discard the deep analysis. We flip, evoke the Muldrifter. Now, if they've been watching the channel, they might know that I have this foil available. Let's draw 2 cards first. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. Yeah, resolves. Okay. Now, the problem is I don't have foil anymore, but I can play the island. I need to make my land drops. I'll pass the turn. Second Faithful is quite good because they don't have multiple 5/5s. And I just need a black mana, so I can snuff out a terror or something. I can look to maybe discard a flicker as well. Opponent swings for 5. We will go to 13. If 5 mana available, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they could cast a terror, but they don't. I will Ephemerate on the Muldrifter. We draw 2 cards. They have a snuff out. I'll try a Ghostly Flicker. I'm going to counterspell. Okay. So we lose the Muldrifter, we lose the Flicker. We draw, finding an island. So I can just, I think I'm going to play the Chancery, pick up the island. They are down to 9 already, so my beats are pretty strong. We have to pick up this island, play out the Faithful. And it looks like it's going to be foil pitch snuff out potentially. Attack for 2. Putting them to 7. Okay. We still probably can survive just this one angler getting in. They're going to hardcast the Lorien Revealed, and I have a foil. Not today. Bam. That is huge on tempo. Huge. Completely time walk them. Plays a tap land. I'm definitely going to resolve the Muldrifter, and then I can also resolve the Deep Analysis. If I find a snap, I'm just golden. We have a Muldrifter. Let's play this Muldrifter, floating an island in case, or a blue mana in case we find a Preordain. But I'm probably just going to put Muldrifter on top here. Find a Strands. Well, I think I'll Mortuary Mire back the Muldrifter. They said they should have watched the whole league with foil. That's funny. Okay. We'll get in for 4. Put you to 3. They get in for 5. Put us to 8. So flashing back the Deep Analysis. Oh, they have a Fangs. Okay. We have 6-point swing. We have Prismatic Strands for the next turn. I'll play out the Muldrifter. So here we can get in for 6. They're countering the Muldrifter. That pretty much makes sense. Play the island. I'll attack for 6 anyway. And then I need to set an upkeep stop for our opponent. Lock this again. So Fangs can be a problem if they can continue to get in. But I have the Strands to time walk them again. So upkeep, cast Prismatic Strands. All right, it resolves. Protection from black. Now they have to remove 2 of my creatures. We win. Let's go. Okay, so I don't like Dawnbringer. I think foil and snuff out are all good. I think I want the Deep Analysis. I don't know if Strands is better than snuff out. I'm just going to bring in the 4 snuff outs. So we're not really fighting on the stack. We're just trying to force through. Is that good enough? I mean, we have foil for fighting on the stack. Yeah, I think I'm down. We have to kill those terrors. Not let them live. I think versus mono blue terror, I would want to have both. Okay, so what do I want to do here? I think I keep. We have foil. That's not really that good in this moment, but we have a quick familiar or faithful, and we can cycle for the tap land. Our opponent goes for Brainstorm on my turn, so they're going to upkeep Thought Scour most likely. I mean, I could pitch the island to stop their Thought Scour. That's really, really risky though. Like all these 3 cards, stop a Thought Scour. A mental note. So should I do this? It could strand them on lands. I can pitch Faithful, Island, or Familiar, Island. This is the craziest risk I'm taking here if I do this. Because I'm going to be down on lands. But I have multiple Familiars in my hand already. And they needed this Brainstorm. I'm pitching it. Take the risk. I'm hoping that they Brainstorm lock them now. But they don't have lands. Okay, they have a land anyway. Darn, that didn't work out. Okay. So let's sacrifice this for the plains. Untap. Cycle. Grab the dual land. Pass the turn. So I think that was a risky and unnecessary play that I shouldn't have done. They thought scour themselves, milling Island, Spell Pierce. Play 2 lands out. We'll go Faithful into Preordain, and now the worst is happening. Like, shouldn't have done it. Should never have done that. Okay, we have lands. Top. Play the Island. Pass the turn. Okay, our opponent is hardcasting Deep Analysis. So I can cycle for an Island, or just cycle for the dual land. Play the Familiar. They might just have a Snuff Out. But if I could maybe find a position to evoke this Muldrifter. They have 5 mana. 2, 3, 4, 5 in the graveyard. They cast a Murmuring Mystic. And they have the Snuff. Dang. That sucks. I accidentally F6'd on my turn. Okay. We're gonna just evoke this. Go to 22. Flashbacks from round 1 over here with the Murmuring Mystic on the other side of the table. Okay, that's pretty good. So now we can Mortuary Mire back the Muldrifter. And then pass. Let's see what they get up to. 2 mana. They Deep Analysis themselves, going to 13. Making more birds. Thought Scour on me. Okay. We mill Muldrifter and a Faithful. They play Archaeologist. They mill Cast Down, Mental Note, Snuff Out. So they probably just pick up the Snuff Out and go after my Faithful. Not sure. Get in for 1. They don't have too much of a clock. I need something. Okay, that's not something. I can flicker and return my Muldrifter. Okay, put the Muldrifter on top. Should never have cast that foil there. I should probably just be focused on other stuff. They have another Lorien. They have a Lorien Revealed. I'm gonna cast foil. They respond with a Spell Pierce, making tons of birds. We can't pay. They have tons and tons of cards. So we have Muldrifter on top that can get wrecked. Brainstorm. You know they have Snuff Out in hand. What did they pick up? Mills. Yeah, they picked up a Snuff Out. So they have Snuff Out in hand. I can just snuff out my Muldrifter. I'll play a Muldrifter here. Leaving the white open for a potential Ephemerate. Did not get it. Play the land, pass the turn. They play a land, they snuff out my creature. Yep. Okay. Regerts. Brainstorming. Jeez. Maybe I should be on the Strands. Nile Spellbomb. I think we lose. Was it Deep Analysis? Yeah, I'm dead. But my mouse is still broken. We have not seen any terrors, which is interesting. Block. I'll cast a Deep Analysis. So I can Deep Analysis right now. Go to 14. They have 6, 7, 8, 9, 14. Analysis. We have a Snuff Out. Play the God Pharaoh's Faithful. I'm not sure that helps that much. Pick up this. We can snuff out their Murmuring Mystic. Go to 12. They have 6, 7, 8, 9 in the air. Okay, they just kill my creatures. I'm just gonna... Alright, good. We're dead. We're super dead. Well, I know the snuff outs are good. Oil seems like pretty bad. I'll bring in 2 counterspells, 2 prohibits. I've got 3 snuff outs, 3 snaps. Man. That was such a risky turn 1 play. Okay, I guess I'm keeping this. What do we have going on? We have a counterspell for their big creature. We have a Snuff Out. We have a bunch of land drops. I'm gonna keep it. I'm on the play. I have the counterspell turn 2 open. They play an Aquifer. Play Island. Pass the turn. They play an island. Okay. My turn. Play another island. I'm working up to Chancery, pick up the island. They brainstorm. Thought scour themselves in their main phase. Fine. They mill deep analysis, spell pierce. Brainstorming again. As I can counter here. They might be looking for a land. Okay, they were looking for a land there. Can I capitalize? I have a familiar, but they can just snuff it. I'm going to play the Chancery and pick up the island. Hoping that I can just slam Muldrifter, slam Lorien Revealed. Plays a tap land. 5 in the graveyard. We'll go Muldrifter, or Sunscape Familiar. Play island. So now I have removal spells for both their creatures. Potentially. Pass down on the familiar. They play a Tolarian Terror. Okay. Another one. That sucks. Oh my god. Bro. That is really brutal. I guess the first thing I'm going to do is evoke this Muldrifter. Insane. Tolarian Terror is so busted. Okay, I'll kill one of them, I guess. They didn't show us any the last game. Now they have 3 in hand. Gets in. I mean, there's nothing I can do. Literally nothing. I will attempt to... I'll just pick this up. Pick up the island. So in their upkeep, I can try to snap one. A mental note. Build some lands. That didn't work. Try to snap this. That worked? No, I'm just paying the ward cost before they decide what to do. Spell Pierce kills me. Great, fun. So we go to 5. I mean, this is a matchup. This is one of the main matchups where I don't want to be playing familiars because they just have so much good interaction. Preordain. And we have Archaeomancer and Snuff Out. Doesn't do anything. Bottom. Bottom? Okay, play my Archaeomancer. GG. We're in round 5 on the play. We've got some stuff to do. Sort of, right? Foil. Faithful. I'm going to mulligan this one. It's not really doing anything. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan. Okay, this is way, way, way better. We can get rid of the land or the Lorien. Probably the land is better. We can go Preordain into Modern Age. And then just play the island and pass the turn. And then we know what matters more with the Preordain. Ice Tunnel. Oh, God. All right, I'm going to Preordain. Hop these. Play the Chancery. And pass the turn. So we can, like, cycle for the dual land. Play that out. Really want to get the Modern Age going. But I also want to get to the point where we're slamming Muldrifters. Our opponent plays an island. We draw an island. Let's see what happens if I play the Modern Age. Spell Pierce. So likely Dimir Terror, which is not something that I was hoping to see. They cycle a Lorien Revealed, finding an island. How can I beat the Terror deck? It's probably just Prismatic Strands plus Snuff Outs. It's really stinky to have to face that deck. Alright, we have another Modern Age. I'm gonna play this Modern Age. I would like to just cycle the Lorien Revealed for the dual land. Let's see if they have yet another Spell Pierce. Okay, they're thinking it through. Interesting. They must be on Counterspell here. They Thought Scour themselves. Milling, Thought Scour Fangs. Clearly, it's definitely the Terror deck. Okay. This resolves. We draw. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. We can discard this island and then get my tap land out of the way. May draw a Snuff Out, and it might matter later. I'll pass the turn. I think post-board here, I'm going to be going for, like, prohibits. A couple of prohibits to counter their counter. And then strands and Snuff Outs. On my end step, they Thought Scour themselves, milling Snuff Out Angler, so only 3 Snuff Outs left in the deck. They have 3 mana available, so they could play as many as 3 Terrors right now. Don't do it to me again. I can't take it. It says they're paying costs. So are we going to see an Angler? We do. Okay, so just one threat for the opponent. Holding up counterspell. We don't really have an option though, we have to slam into it. We drew the foil. Okay. I'm gonna discard the Modern Age, I think. Then attempt to Mole Drifter. So what do I do if they cast counterspell? Do I foil back? Just to resolve this? Then next turn they can't cast counterspell. I guess I do. I don't really want to lose the Mole Drifter though. Okay, the Mole Drifter resolves. That's very good. We get the draw trigger. Okay. They cycle of Fumes. Alright, on their turn, they're just going straight to attacks, swinging for 5. They play a 5th land. So if they do go for a Lorien Revealed, I think I have to counter it. Murmuring Mystic, I don't need to counter, I don't think. I guess they could snuff out my creature here and that'd be a bummer. Could try to foil back. Because next turn I have 2 Mole Drifters and a Modern Age to gang block this Angler. They're passing the turn. Find a Preordain. So I'm going to Preordain looking for a Snap. Find a Strands and a Snuff Out. Okay. I'll put the Strands on, put the top, and I guess is Strands good? I could put the Strands in the graveyard for later. I'll draw the Strands. It's just a good pitch to the foil. Play the land. Hardcast a Mole Drifter. We'll draw 2 cards. I will attempt to kill your Murmuring Mystic. Going to 11. A Mental Note in response. Okay. Mystic is dead. Okay. We're going to stay back here. So they're swinging with their Angler. They have 5 cards in hand. I'm going to try to force the issue, I guess. The way that they change the blocks, they put the Vector Glider in front. So does that mean that you don't have anything? They have a Snuff Out on the Vector Glider. I'll try to counter. They cast Counterspell. Well, that didn't work out. I don't know if I'm falling apart or if it never was meant to be. And they've got a Terror. Easy. Easy, easy game. I mean, we can play the Archaeomancer and then snuff out the Terror, then block the Angler, and play the Mole Drifter. But they have to have nothing still. Blast the Terror. Pay for the ward. Come on. It resolves, thank God. Okay. We lived through it. Okay, so they fangs their bird. Means if they have a removal spell, we're dead. Getting in, or blocking. They hardcast the Lorien Revealed. That's pretty bad. They have an island. They play another Terror. Okay. Sure. Sure. Preordain. Finding a Snap. So, bottom, top. Bounce this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll cast a Mole Drifter. Floating a white in case I can find a Faithful. Finding a Familiar. Alright. 1 mana Hexproof is pretty good. Jeez. Brainstorm looking for a removal spell. It'll be all over soon. Mental Note. They milled Aquifer, Deep Analysis, and a Cast Down. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. So if I'd been playing Altertron, then I could have crushed that person, but I didn't. Let's see. Bring in Prohibit. Strands. Cleric's not good. Deep Analysis we need. So then we just get rid of the foils, have a couple of counterspells, and then mostly just try to survive. I'll try it. Very disappointed. Our pairings have not been super hot. Like, we've played what is this, 3rd Dimir and 2 red. Darn. I wanted to face the anti-red decks. Okay. This hand has no white mana or 2 drops, so I'm going to mulligan. This seems fine. Is it fine? One is keeping 7. I guess I'm going to keep and bottom the Snap. Start playing things. That's the turn. I mean, Double Faithful can keep me alive for a while, and I think that that's pretty good. They play an Ice Tunnel. Find a Deep Analysis. Let's cycle for the Plains. Play the Plains. Get a Faithful into play. I'm trying to get to 4 mana so I can start drawing cards with my Deep Analysis. And if we have to use a mana to get it like a land, we can just get the glacial floodplain so that I have all my tap lands, or most of my tap lands, out of the way. Okay. So I can go Faithful. This resolves. I think I should still cycle for the tap land here. That way I'm sure to have the 4 mana for next turn. End step, opponent uses the mental note, milling Angler, Snuff Out. So 1 Snuff Out gone. They take their turn and play an island. They're passing. So the concern is that they have like double Spell Pierce. Just going to Deep Analysis. Gets a card out of their hand, I guess. I don't really want to get Spell Pierce, but I can't really afford to do nothing. We just draw 2 cards. Awesome. Our opponent plays an island. Murmuring Mystic. See if they just go Snuff Out, Snuff Out. They did not. So let's start with a Preordain. I'm looking for a land. Find a Snuff Out. We can op, kill this thing, and then I will pass a Deep Analysis, drawing 2 more cards. Feels good to get rid of that Murmuring Mystic for 0 mana. Now I have Modern Age. I can Modern Age and get rid of the Ephemerate. Just continue to hardcast stuff. So do I want to get rid of the Ephemerate or the Deep Analysis or the Preordain? I think it's the Ephemerate, just because I'm don't have any targets, and I also want to try to get way more like raw card advantage and raw life gain with our blue spells. Now, their opponent plays stuff. They probably are playing like Rotten Reunion and stuff like that. 5 men in play. Okay, they slam a Lorien Revealed. Draw 3 cards up to 8. And they're going to have to discard to hand size. They end up discarding a Gurmag Angler. We draw into a Muldrifter and an Ephemerate. Okay. I think I just discard the Preordain. Could be the snap here. They have 2 Gurmags in the graveyard. 1 Snuff in the graveyard. That's going to be the snap. I'm just going to hardcast this. We both got a 3 for 1. They have 3 cards in hand. I have a creature and 2 more cards in hand. I'm up to 25 life. Found another Faithful. So they're going to need multiple creatures to start getting through my life gain. We ended up drawing another Ephemerate. 2. But we missed our first land drop. Or the first time we missed the land drop there on turn 6. Our opponent's turn 6. Let's see what they do. They appear to be double queuing, so clock may be a factor. If we can try to string this out as long as possible and win, then it could be difficult for them to close. They play an island, 7 cards in hand. 4 mana Tolarian Terror. Oh man, they're going to eat their graveyard for another Angler. But we found another Snuff Out. This is huge. Okay. So I will go Faithful. Snap your Angler. They can Spell Pierce or Counterspell. They use a Dispel. I'll have a Prohibit here. Untap. And then I'm going to look for lands with the Preordain. Best land is a Chancery by far. I found a land, then a Deep Analysis. I will top and top. Play the island and attack for 2. Right now I'm at 34. The only thing that I would do here is maybe Ephemerate the Muldrifter if they use a removal spell. Probably not though. They get in for 5. Casting a Lorien Revealed. Drawing a ton of cards. They're at 8 cards in hand. Plays an island. They're passing. I'll start by attacking for 4. Okay, our opponent goes to 14. I'm looking for Snuff Outs. And more lands. Draw 2. They don't counter. Okay, we found Familiar. I could just jam the Deep Analysis, but if they have a Spell Pierce, it's not great. I'll play the island. And I guess I'm going to pass. Then Mental Note. Milling a Spell Pierce and a Terror. 1 Terror down. Only 2 left in the deck. The Mental Note again. Milling Contaminated Aquifer and Cast Down. So they can just jam out their Angler this turn. We're at 32 life though. Gets in for 5, puts me to 27. Now they're casting Murmuring Mystic. Okay, that's going to stall the game out. Let's see if they are interested in casting their Angler here. I guess they probably aren't. They play a tap land and pass the turn. Okay, my turn. Play a Sunscape Familiar. Draw 2 cards with a Deep Analysis. Going back to 27. I'm Feeling like I can win this game, and I definitely also feel like they are having some problems with their clock usage. I'm going to counter this Agony Warp with a Prohibit. They snuff out the Familiar. Try Ephemerate on the Familiar. That resolves. So Familiar lives. Agony Warp is countered. They get a lot of birds. And we draw 2 cards. Finding a Preordain. Go land, cast the Preordain. The Prohibit seemed pretty good. Like a good thing to bring in. Now we have Chancery and a Snuff Out. I'll top and snuff out your Murmuring Mystic. I'm still just really worried about a Spell Pierce, so I didn't want to snuff out the Terror. I'll go ahead and attack with the Vector Glider. I think from a standpoint of how do I win this match, I probably shouldn't even attack. Should just sit here and then maintain control. They get in for 5. We go to 27. They cast Lorien Reveal, drawing 3 cards up to 7. Plays an island. They're passing the turn. So we're going to attempt to Ephemerate the Muldrifter. Cast down, okay. We'll cast Deep Analysis. Draw 2 cards. I can flash it back to draw another 2 cards. 4 total for 4 mana is not bad. Draw some more cards. Play the Azorius Chancery. Pick up Plains. And attempt to snuff out their Terror. I'll pay the ward. And they have a counterspell. Okay. So now I can play Modern Age. Discard Prismatic Strands. Play Modern Age. I'm at 35 life. Discard Plains. I'll attack. Okay, they go to 6. They attack for 5. We've used 1. How many counterspells have they used? Just 1. Not great. Plays a Lorien Revealed. They draw down to 22 cards in library, 7 cards in hand. Here comes another Terror. Okay, 1. They have 2 more, or 1 more Terror in their deck. Looks like they're going for the Angler here. Okay, Gurmag on the table. We've used just 1 snap so far. 2 snaps, okay. And I've used all my Deep Analysis. Discard the Ash Barrens. Discard the Chancery. Go Sunscape Familiar. Play the Archaeomancer, trying to get back, I guess, Prohibit. Have a counterspell. I'll draw 3 cards with the Lorien Revealed. Just going to play the Faithful out and attack. They are blocking now. 2 counterspells down. Swings, I'm going to Strands on blue. No blocks. They seem to know how to take fast turns when they need to. They've just been doing multiple things at one time. And I'm only 5 minutes ahead on clock, so I'm not sure if trying to grind the clock is going to matter that much. But I think it's probably worth it. They Deep Analysis themselves. Brainstorm. Still taking them a long time to make decisions. Thought Scour targeting themselves. Milling Island Mental Note. Here comes another Angler. No, okay. I play the Angler. And my turn. Find a Snap. Okay, I'll just attack you for 2. They block. That's cool. Play Muldrifter out. I'll go to 35. They've used 1. Okay, I have another Prismatic Strands. I'm a little bit nervous about getting decked. I've used 1 Prohibit. Cast a Muldrifter. I could draw into the Mortuary Mire. There's the Mortuary Mire. I'll play the Mortuary Mire, trying to get back Archaeomancer. Then I'll play out another Archaeomancer and get back Prohibit. So now I think I'm winning. I just have to stall them as long as possible. They concede. They've seen the writing on the wall. This person knows exactly what they're doing. They're just doing too many things at once, and they now have 6:40 on clock, so not enough for it to actually matter. Strands were good. Snuff. I feel like this was a decent setup. I just gotta get my mind right. Let's try again. I'm gonna keep this hand. We have interaction for 2 creatures and a Faithful. Being on the draw isn't amazing. They've mulliganed to 5. Okay, that could be good. So they're probably mulliganing to a fast hand, trying to get things done. We are now over double their amount of clock left. They have 6 minutes. It's so stressful. They play an Aquifer. Okay. I'll play island. That's the turn. Since we drew another island, I'm just going to slam the Chancery in this turn. They go island. Okay. Play Chancery, F6, picking up my island. Let's just not make any crazy mistakes. Our opponent's brainstorming. They thought scour themselves, milling mental note and deep analysis. I discard an island. Right now, they do not have enough lands to cast a terror. It's going to cost them 3 mana to cast a terror. They have 3 mana. Plays a terror. Every time. Every time. Play Faithful. Well, play the Faithful. Play the island. Pass the turn. Maybe I should have played out the Sunscape Familiar. They get in for 5. We go to 15. Brainstorm from the opponent. I need to find a swamp so I can snuff out their creature. This is pretty much what I was afraid of. They would turbo out a terror and then win with like 20 seconds left on clock. They're passing, holding up a counterspell maybe. We'll draw. Okay. So I found the swamp. I'll try playing out the familiar. This is fine, I guess. Okay. Weird. I'm going to play the Chancery, pick up the island. They Agony Warp my creature. We'll snap it. Untap these two. Okay, pick up my island. Play Sunscape Familiar. Pass the turn. We are at 16 life now. They play a 4th land. Getting in for 5. Pretty scary. Plays Murmuring Mystic. Okay. Cycle. Grab the swamp. Untap. So I can blast the Murmuring Mystic right now, or I can kill the terror. I think I'm just going to kill the terror. Rid of this. Pay the ward. And then I'm going to evoke the Mole Drifter. Next turn I can Mortuary Mire it back. We drew the Ephemerate. Let's go! It resolves! Huge! Huge turn! Amazing! Oh my gosh. That was just brutal. They mental note themselves. Getting a bird. Will it be enough? They're at 3 minutes on clock. They can like spew off some deep analysis for more birds. They got another terror. The terror don't stop. Terror, terror, terror. 3 minutes on clock. I'm stressing very hard. Trying to win. Trying to force them to use their clock. Okay, we have Ephemerate. Attempt to Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. That resolves. So they're multi-5 punishing them. Play out a Faithful. Then this costs 4 mana. And Spell Pierce is a problem. Play out a Familiar. They didn't have anything before. Just going to, well, so do I think they have Spell Pierce? I don't know if I can afford to take 5. I can just block with the Mole Drifter and then try to get it back. Play the Familiar out. They paused. Cycle and grab an island and play the island. And then pass. They have a Brainstorm. Getting another bird. Enough out on the Mole Drifter. Okay, so they have more birds. We're going to block here and then gang block this for time. Go to 6. 2 minutes on clock for the opponent. Ridiculous. Deep analysis themselves going to 13 life, making another bird. Plays a land. Find an Archaeomancer. I'm going to attempt the Archaeomancer for the snap, I guess. Attempt to snap the Angler. We have Spell Pierce covered. They have a Dispel. Mortuary Mire, getting back Mole Drifter. So we have to block both of these this turn. This is not fun. Double block, block, block. The Deep Analysis, getting more birds. Kills the Familiar. God. Okay, land. Play Mole Drifter. There's 6 life. We have a Prismatic Strands. That's good. Okay, I'm going to upkeep Prismatic Strands on blue. So I only lose here if they have Fangs. I'm just going to take it and see if we can get through it. We go to 1. Land. Play Archaeomancer. They have a counterspell. Because why not? I'll cast Lorien Revealed. Okay. Upkeep. Strands again. On blue. Insane. I attack with everything. I block the angler. 37 seconds for the opponent. 32 seconds. Go Faithful. Sunscape Familiar. Draw some cards. Put a 5 life. They have 8. Tons of power. We have a Snuff Out that can take out this at the cost of 4 life. And some mana. And deep analysis myself. Like if I find a Snap, go to 3 life. 4 life. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat 30 seconds. Oh, I only have 4 life anyway. Oh, this is so frustrating, opponent. Why did you take so long? Chancery. Pick up this. They're currently F6'd. I'm going to attack for clock. Discard the planes. Flicker here. Go to the next phase. Kill this thing. They Thought Scour. We did our best. Our opponent, yeah, we're dead. That sucks. Man. I get so frustrated playing in these big tournaments where you're like, people are just, ugh. Okay, let's bounce back, I guess. Okay, next round. Reverse Kid Run-In. This seems fine. I'm on the play, and the Preordained can dig me into lands. Have a follow-up Modern Age. Ice Tunnel and Familiar, so I'm going to bottom the Familiar, top the Ice Tunnel, and pass the turn. See what they're doing. Forest. They play an Arbor Elf, I'm snuffing. They did not play an Arbor Elf. I'll play the Tunnel and pass the turn. Maybe they're on red-green monsters. Malevolent Rumble. They find Arbor Elf, Annoyed Outsword, Generous End, Arbor Elf. What am I pitching? They choose Generous End for another land. Okay. Play Modern Age. We need a land now. Okay, discard the foil. Play the land. Pass the turn. Malevolent Rumble again. They're probably taking this Utopia Sprawl here. They found Generous End, Growth, Sprawl, Growth. So they can cycle the Generous End with the spawn. They choose Wild Growth. Didn't expect that. Plays the Wild Growth. We're going to get Avenging Huntered. Let's see. Draw. Okay, we're looting. This is not good. We'll discard the foil. Invoke a Muldrifter. Looking for lands. I bottomed, and then I looted a bunch of times, didn't find a land here. Yikes. Ah, come on. Ah, not like this. Okay, here comes the Avenging Hunter. I guess when we attack, we can get our planes. Wild Growth out of their hand. They can grab a forest or a mountain now. Plays a Haunted Ridgeline or whatever, Highland Forest. Just nothing going on. Wow. Okay. I guess I get rid of an Ephemerate. So what I can do here is they're scrying. I feel like I have to take the 5 in case they play a reach blocker. And I can snuff out the blocker, get in, play the planes, play the Arcane Mancer, snuff out their other thing. 7 mana. They Altasaur, finding a boarding party. Gross. Into Chrysalis. Okay, I'm just going to scoop. Luck was not with me there. 16 cards, 3 lands. And they went Altasaur, boarding party, Chrysalis. I literally cannot beat that. I guess they scryed into it. Did they scry into it? I don't know. Feels like they did. They went top. Yep, they set that one up. Solid. Okay, we want the Snuff Out. We want to get rid of the Strands and the Cleric. Faithful. Maybe the Cleric is better than a Faithful because it can kill a Wild Growth or something. Okay, that is the plan. We're on the play. I can't keep this one. At least I know that. So we have Familiar. Can get his Swamp. Still, I'm going to keep and bottom the Ash Barrens. Even though that can get me a Swamp. Because I want to just set up my draws here. Land Preordain. Multiple Chanceries. So I have land drop. I will keep the second one. Pass the turn. Our opponent plays an Arbor Elf turn 1. Very, very strong. So Chancery, pick up the island. Turn 2, they have Utopia Sprawl on red. Then they're going to go just attack. Just attack, huh? That's a surprise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they need 6 mana right now. All right, I will Sunscape Familiar, snap this thing, untap, play the Modern Age, discard this other Modern Age, pass. So we put them back to 3 mana, and 5 mana was not enough, or 4 mana was not enough for them last turn. So I feel like that was a decent exchange. If we can find the black land, then we can snuff them. We did not. So go discard the Chancery, play the land, Mole Drifter. Draw 2. Found a snap. So we can tempo them in a way. They're up to a bunch of mana now. 4 mana, 5, 6. Boarding Party finds an Avenging Hunter. Just going off. I can actually attack, get my swamp, play the swamp, snuff your thing, snap, Archaeomancer, snuff the other thing. That might be enough. Okay, we're at 13. I need some life gain though. Anyway, we will swing. This is funny. I am the initiative. Grab a swamp, play the swamp, kill this thing, play Archaeomancer. Well, first we're going to snap your Arbor Elf, untap, play Archaeomancer, get back the Snuff out, kill this thing, and then play a Mole Drifter. Do I win? Did I win? I need an Ephemerate. That was sweet. I mean, that was probably worth staying in the event for. Arbor Elf from the opponent. We're going to make our Vector Glider huge enormous. They play an Avenging Hunter, going into Forge. Okay. Unfortunate. Oh, they put the counters on the Arbor Elf. And another Mole Drifter. First I'm going to attack. Forge on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast Mole Drifter. Found a foil. Okay. Play Chancery. Pick up the Plains. Cast the Modern Age. What do we want to discard? Guess the Plains. Then we're just going to take a pass on our turn. We're just going to pass. Opponent plays a land. They have tons of mana. I just need to hold on to the initiative. That's my main goal here. If they trap us, we're dead, so can't get trapped. We have a 4/5. They're just attacking with this. Okay. Block. See what happens. I do have foil. Avenging Hunter down. Cast an Avenging Hunter. I don't think so. I'm just going to counter it. Not interested. Third Avenging Hunter, come on. Come on! Okay, they untap their land with their Arbor Elf. Probably plays a Chrysalis. Eldrazi Repurposer. We take the initiative and trap them. Trap you. Finding a Faithful. Discard another Deep Analysis. Let's go God Pharaoh's Faithful. Then I'm going to go... I feel like I want to float a white for an Ephemerate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it though. So it probably should just float the blue. Or like leave a blue open. Might find a snap. Finding a Modern Age. Let's play the Modern Age. Go to 7 life. Discard. What do we have in the graveyard? We can actually discard the Archaeomancer here and put it back on top with the Mortuary Mire. Try it. The next turn we're discarding an island though, but at least we made a land drop. No attacks. Oh, we're gonna draw an extra card for turn with the initiative, so we'll get past the Mancer anyway. Sprawl from the opponent. They have a lot of mana. They're swinging. We're gonna block here and then double block there. I don't want the Repurposer to die because I don't want them to have more spawns. Seriously, they have another Avenging Hunter. I put in chat, bro. For real? For real, bro? Insane. In 16 cards. Well, I guess they, what happened with the boarding party? Oh, it immediately hit the Avenging Hunter. Okay. We'll go to 2. Do they have a Lightning Bolt? No Lightning Bolt. My turn. And we don't get to go into the archives. Discard this. I will attack you for 2. And I get to draw a card. Find a Preordain. Let's Preordain. We get a 3 life. Sunscape Familiar and a Preordain. I can Preordain into the Familiar. 3, 4, 5. And then I can get the snuff out and snuff out their Avenging Hunter. Op. Preordain. And an Ephemerate. Okay. So I can Ephemerate the Muldrifter. Whatever. I'm going to keep the Familiar on top, I think. But I'm going to go to the Throne next turn, so it might not matter. So I should bottom the Familiar, top the Ephemerate, and then play the land. 4 mana. Play Archaeomancer. And I will just go ahead and... Oh, I should have just Ephemerated the Archaeomancer here before I played the second one. Mistakes were made. That's not good. I'll get the Snuff out. We have 0 cards in hand. Snuff out. We will murder this thing. And then draw 2 cards. Finding the Flicker. So we win this game. We win this game. Unless something crazy happens that I haven't seen coming. Because they have 5th initiative creature. Or a ton of trample damage. No trample damage, please. No. Altasaur. Okay. What's going to happen? I find the Rancor. The trample damage I was worried about. Puts a Rancor on the repurposer. So we're going to shove all of our creatures in front of it. Okay. Muldrifter, Vector Glider, Muldrifter. The 5 damage, and we have enough. Okay. Some creatures die. We take no damage. Rancor goes back to hand. They can put it on their spawn, I guess. I don't know if that's worth it. Okay. This was actually an entertaining match, I think, so far. Next turn, we have infinite Flicker Snaps. They Rancor the Altasaur. Not a problem. We go into the Throne. So, put the Ephemerate under the initiative. They scoop. Okay, we win. Can we do it again? Seems unlikely. We're going to try. We're going to try really hard. Oh, man. 4 initiative creatures. That was crazy. Try again. All right. We have a turn 1 Snuff out on their Arbor Elf, and then we can preordain. Come on, play an Arbor Elf. Play Arbor Elf. Play Arbor Elf. They play Wild Growth. Not what I was hoping for. Play the Ice Tunnel, and your turn. I do have a foil coming up. 3 mana for the opponent. Plays a repurposer. Okay. Should I snuff that out? No, because I'll have more mana. My turn. I need to find an island. I'm going to preordain. Did not find one. Okay, so we'll top and top. Play the Chancery. Pick up this. And then I think I'm actually going to discard the Modern Age here. The Malevolent Rumble. Finding Arbor Elf and Breath Weapon. They choose Mountain here. Not what I expected. Looks like they're playing a Chrysalis. Okay, they play Chrysalis. That's okay. Gets in for 3. Play this. Play the Familiar. Pass the turn. Next turn, I'm hoping to go ahead and do some stuff. 3 mana for the opponent. Okay, 6 mana. 7 mana. Plays Altasaur. Finds a Rancor. Looks like they're going to target the Chrysalis, and I have the Snuff out. Bam! We are going to go to 10. Okay, I'm at 10. 4 mana. Snap this Altasaur. Untap. Play a Muldrifter. We have a Snuff out. I think I'm just going to snap this thing. Untap. And then draw. Find a counterspell. So I can foil and counterspell. And Snuff out. They play Malevolent Rumble. Finding Oliphant, Forest, Arbor Elf, Forest. Chooses Forest. They have 4 mana. They cast the Chrysalis again. Okay. Do I counter that? I would have to ditch. I don't think it's worth it. I think I should just use Snuff out and then hold up my counters. So I have counterspell plus foil plus Snuff out. Okay. Kill this thing. Play a land. Attack. I mean, I'm in dire straits. Not gonna lie. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully they just get a bad rip off their Altasaur. 1, 2. 3 mana. They cast a repurposer. I'm gonna counterspell it with foil. They get more spawns. They have 3 mana. 5, 6, 7 mana. They play the Altasaur. They find another repurposer. We're going to Counterspell the Allosaur. Okay, my turn. I'll tap for mana, pick up my island, play the Modern Age. What do we find? A Muldrifter. Okay, I'm going to discard the Chancery, slam a Muldrifter, pass the turn. We're going to plan on double blocking, I think. The Utopia Sprawl. Oh, geez, it's so tight. Plays another Allosaur into a Jewel Thief. Brutal. Okay. We block and block. That thing's dead. They have more mana though. The spawn gets created. We're gonna loot. Dawnbringer Cleric. Okay. Draw. Discard this. So we can snuff out this, go to 2 life. I can go like Dawnbringer Cleric, gain 2 life. And then put the Muldrifter on top. Then I have Hardcast Snuff out. Dawnbringer Cleric, gain 2 life. Put the Muldrifter on top. Pass the turn. Or I can just not worry about the life. Play the Modern Age. But then it's not that great. I'm like looking to double block here to kill the Jewel Thief. Oh man, a Malevolent Rumble from the opponent. Finds Sprawl Forest, Rancor Forest. They choose Rancor. Rancor on the Jewel Thief. Okay. Exit everything. Except the spawns. We'll kill this. Nice to have kill spells and fams. And block here. Take 0 damage. Both my creatures die though. And then we'll see if they have an Avenging Hunter. Hopefully they don't. We have 1, 2. We can cast a Muldrifter this turn. Looks like they have a Chrysalis. No, it's the Avenging Hunter. Boop. Okay, they get to get a land. This turn, we're getting 2 creatures. We can attack with them. This is going to be a 7-powered attacker, though. Rancor on the Eldrazi spawn, doesn't matter. Okay. Cast Muldrifter. Finding a Flicker. Okay. Play the Sunscape Familiar out. I'm not sure what I should do here. I'm going to have to take the 7. Oh no, they're going to make this a 4-1. We'll just double block and then get in. And then we'll have to double block here for a 4-3. Right? 2 counters? I'm going to play the island and pass. I could just... Yeah, never mind. I'm just going to play the Modern Age and then put the top card of my library into my graveyard. It's an Ephemerate. Oh, God. Goes to the graveyard. Okay, it's a 4-3. They move to attacks. We're going to Flicker. And I'm going to put the Muldrifter on top. Drawing with the other Muldrifter. First. Drew a foil. We want to put the Muldrifter on top. Block and block. We have 5 toughness, so one of these creatures is going to live. They kill my Muldrifter. We go to 3 life. Oh, they can put the Rancor on the Avenging Hunter. That's not good. Okay. I need another Snuff out. Okay, draw. I'll discard the foil. Can attack for 2. Probably should have discarded the island or the floodplain since now I'm getting the island here. It just didn't occur to me at the time. This is really hard. That's what I'm saying. Really hard. Grab an island. Cast Muldrifter. It only cost me 3. Jam a Muldrifter here. I can Deep Analysis, but then I can't draw white mana. It probably doesn't matter. Deep Analysis. Okay. We have snaps. I can Archaeomancer, snap the Mancer, replay the Mancer, get the Ephemerate. Ephemerate for snap, snap this thing, counterspell on the way back, but then if they have a second one, I lose. So I'll be dead. It's the plan. Archaeomancer, get the Ephemerate. I got the wrong thing. I'm stupid. Sorry, everyone. I got the wrong thing. I meant to get the snap. I said snap. Oh, no. Okay. We can't let them hit us. I have to block with everything. Block, block, block. Everything, but I keep a familiar? Okay, that's great for me. Oh, man. My turn. I will forge on my Vector Glider. Get another Vector Glider. I can Ephemerate for the Flicker. Flicker here. I don't have enough life. Get back to Muldrifter. I'm going to start with the Modern Age, I guess. See what I draw. I have 4. I have a ton of power. Play the Modern Age. Just gonna discard the landscape. Cast a Preordain. Okay, I found a Snuff Out. I can hard cast a Snuff Out. I'll play out my Floodplain and pass the turn. I can hard cast a Snuff Out and counterspell. Plays a Forest. I think I should just block 4, 5, 6. I have 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm just gonna block. Okay, block, block. They have 7 power. I have 5, 8 toughness. Okay, that dies. They get Rancor back. They have 2 cards in hand. I'm going to Ephemerate the Archaeomancer and get, I guess, the Flicker. Then I can Flicker here, get back the Familiar. I'm going to trap you. Okay, trap you. I will Ephemerate the Archaeomancer, getting back the Ephemerate. I mean, of all the matches, this has been the wildest. This has been an absolute wild ride. We are going to discard the planes, go Sunscape Familiar, Ephemerate the Archaeomancer for snap, I guess. Then I'm going to Flicker here, put the Dawnbringer back on top of my deck, evoke the Muldrifter, snap the Drifter, untap, Dawnbringer, gain 2 life. I think we win. We win! Unreal. We are 3-3. All right, here we are in round 7. Okay, let's do it. Seems keepable. We have Faithful turn 1. Put it on Mountain. Goblin Blast Runner, so they're on burn. We're looking for a 2-drop. Didn't find one. Play the Faithful out. And pass. So now it seems very unreasonable because we only have 4 drops here. But I like that turn 1 Faithful, so we'll see. They can get in for a lot. Okay, I'll block. They can Galvanic or Lightning Bolt. They use a Lightning Bolt. I saved 5 damage here. I'll just tap this, cycle it for an island, and then pick this up. I guess I should have imagined that they'd be on mono red. We're gonna have to win 2 post-board games, and they're on the play. No, we were on the play. No, draw. Okay, so they've got a huge board. Okay, fair. Tax for 5. Doing things. And we don't. All right. I'll just cycle my island because I have nothing else to do. Darn. Okay, well, I mean, I learned my lesson. I would usually tell people in the Familiars Discord not to keep that hand, and I did anyway. All right, so we're at 6. They have 3. Mancer, get back the Lorien Revealed. What do you got? Literally anything kills me. Okay, you got me. Not a good game 1. Ugh. I'm back in it. I'm here. I'm ready to party. I'm bringing in Snuff Outs. Bring the Prismatic Strands on the Ephemerate out. And then I will bring in 1 Prohibit, 1 Foil, and submit. So I have 6 counter spells. I got 4 removal spells, 2 fogs. Hopefully that's enough. Okay, we're on the play. We have a Hydroblast. I'm gonna keep. So we can counter and then counter turn 2. Then turn 3, play Chancery, pick up the island and counter again. Let's lead on island, pass the turn. Our opponent plays a mountain. Epicure. I'm just gonna Hydroblast. This stops them from having the ability to Kuldotha turn 2. Play land, pass the turn. I can Prohibit. Next turn I can Chancery, pick up this, and then foil pitching Deep Analysis. Let's counter the Synthesizer. They play a land. And a Tomb Raider that is just a 1/2. Play Chancery, pick up the island, and I'll say go. Synthesizer again. I'm gonna counter it. Discarding the Deep Analysis. They're like, what are you doing, man? Counters all day. They Chain Lightning face. So we will go to 16 here. Keeping their creature a 1/2 is pretty important. Let's Faithful into Deep Analysis. And then Chancery. Pick this up. Now we ran out of steam, but, you know, we did some stuff. I'm probably not blocking this turn. Maybe it's worth it. I do have the Mortuary Mire. I'd rather try to draw into some stuff though. 1 damage is not that bad. They play a Bushwhacker out. Does that mean they have Goblin Grenade in their deck? Yes. Yes, it does. Play the Mortuary Mire. Get this back. Pass the turn. It's still not good to be just flopping down a Faithful and hoping. They get in for 1. We go back to 12. You have any cards in hand that matter. Blast Runner. Okay, that's pretty good. Play the Faithful. Play the Island. We can snap the Blast Runner. I want to block and then flicker when they bolt it. And snap the Blast Runner. I'll block. Okay, I'll just take the 1. They go Lightning Bolt. Going to Ghostly Flicker. But this time I'm not going to... Okay, we just drew a snap. Pass the turn. I need to draw anything that does stuff. Like, I've drawn a lot of interaction, but what I need is a Mole Drifter. Our opponent gets in for 2. I'll block 1 of it. We go to 11. Okay, play Familiar. Now I have 2 blockers. Can we hold on? Can we hold on? We win. I can't believe it. I just counter block. Okay. Let's try to take the next one. So we're on the draw. Does that mean that I want to like bring in a second foil? I don't think so. 1 is probably enough. That was crazy. I have foil again, but I'm going to keep this. We need to find white mana really bad, but I have double cantrip. They lead on a Clockwork. We go to 19 right away. Land, Preordained. Come on, mana. Chancery and a Mole Drifter. All top and top. I get really hosed if they have a raise, though. They play a Tomb Raider and a Blast Runner. Getting in. Play the Chancery. Tap this. Pick up the Island. Preordain. I want another Familiar. Think so? I'll top both of these because I need blockers. Discard this Prismatic Strands, and then I can look to go like they play an Epicure. Okay, they're discarding and getting in for a large amount. 6 damage. I go to 9. Play out the Ash Barrens, then go Sunscape Familiar and Modern Age. Can discard. What do I discard here? I think I'm kind of far from casting the Lorien Revealed, so I'm going to discard that. I can pitch these cards. They have another Tomb Raider. That's pretty bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're blocking. And I'll use the strands on red. They Lightning Bolt my creature. I'm going to try countering. I'll discard the Familiar. Strands on red. We draw. I can discard the Ash Barrens now. Or discard the Chancery and play out the Ash Barrens. I think I'm going to discard the Ash Barrens. Play the Dawnbringer. Gain 2 life. Play the Chancery. And then cycle for an Island. I mean, I don't like my position at all. Now they're just trying to figure out if they have lethal. So my game 1 keep through the match. Just too weak and slow. They play a Chain Lightning. 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I block here, I take 2, 3, 4, 5. I block here, I take 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Putting me to 5. Dead to a... I think I just have to block here. I'm dead to double burn spell. Dead to a grenade as well. They galvanic my creature. Interesting. Land. Play Mole Drifter. If they have nothing going on, we can block and block, or like block and block. They have a Kuldotha Rebirth, and what do they draw? Chain Lightning. So does that, I think that kills me. I can double block the Blast Runner, but either way I'm dead. Bleh. So you can see that in these events, it just doesn't go very well for me. I don't know what it is. I think it's like my mindset, or just like I get it too greedy, but I think I probably should have played Altertron at this point. Double block here. Doesn't even matter. I'll see you in the last round. We are going to play all the rounds. We'll get there. I investigated the rounds. If you're top 64, then you get to get some prizes. 41, 58. I don't think we're going to make it. We ended up losing. We're at the bottom of this, so I am going to just go ahead and call it here. I think we had some pretty fun games, so hopefully you enjoyed at least checking it out. Can't always win. I'll try to do a better job next time, but I'll see you in the next video.